Climate change, yes. Anyways, let's move on. So, speaking of old Bernie Sanders there, he's got a new bill, and this is not going to go anywhere, and it's not going to do anything, and it's not going to actually change anything, but it's a nice idea, which is what Bernie Sanders specializes in. Really nice ideas. But no way. I mean, now I feel like I feel like some centrist Democrat on Twitter saying like, "There's no way he's going to get it done." I mean, he's already proven that he can't even, implement anything to actually get himself elected. So I don't even know how he could get anything done once he gets elected. Anyways, he's proposed this bill to tax the billionaires who made this record windfall profit over the last 5 months of the pandemic. Hold on, I had the whole dang thing over here somewhere. So he introduced this bill to tax the billionaires, and the numbers were like, Musk was going to lose like 22 billion, and Zuckerberg was going to lose like 20 billion, and Jeff Bezos was going to lose like 27 billion. Like, this is a great idea. This is a great bill, and this is perfectly. I think the billionaires should be taxed. Period. Regardless of an epidemic, they should be taxed massively. But of course, they own the entire government. So how is that going to happen? That's not going to happen because there's not enough free, if you will, politicians or politicians who can vote with their own free will. There's not enough politicians in the government to overwhelm the bought and sold and paid for politicians that run and control the government. So this will never happen, although this is a really great idea. It's time to tax their obscene wealth. Inequality is becoming worse as tens of millions of Americans face unemployment, loss of health care, evictions, and hunger. Yada, yada, yada. While tens of millions of Americans are now facing economic desperation, unemployment, loss of health care, evictions, hunger, the very rich are becoming much richer. Here are three figures that should come as a shock to everyone in America. $13 billion. That's how much Jeff Bezos, the wealthiest man alive, made in one day, while the companies he owns denies paid sick leave, hazard pay, and a safe workplace to hundreds of thousands of his workers. $21 billion. That's how much the Walton family, the richest family in America, made over the past 20 weeks, while U.S. taxpayers continue to subsidize the starvation wages at Walmart, the largest private employer in America. I won't put the blame wholly and totally on Bernie Sanders' shoulders, but people also need to go out and just, the people must educate themselves and the people must organize themselves. I'm sorry to say that this is the only way this is going to happen. Anyways, let me read on before I talk about that some more. $731 billion. That's how much wealth. The wealth of 467 billionaires increased since the Federal Reserve started taking emergency actions to prop up the stock market in March. I'm going to read that again. So that's 5 months. In 5 months, $731 billion. About what the defense budget is a year for the United States government. Incredibly, thanks to President Trump's tax giveaway to the rich signed into law a few weeks ago, billionaires now pay a lower effective tax rate than teachers, nurses, firefighters, or truck drivers. This is the criminality that nobody is talking about. But it's not just a criminality of Trump, it's a criminality of the system. Trump is just the tip of the spear of the criminal system. If you don't believe that those billionaires like the fact that Trump is president, you are delusional. They all love it. Even though they may publicly say, differently or maybe not say anything at all these guys love this man right now because of this tax giveaway. They're like, thank you very much. Appreciate you. You know, hope to see you in November. If you want to know why Trump has a very good chance of winning in November, you want to know the reason? That right there. That's the reason. They love this guy, the billionaires, the ruling class, the elite, the wealthy. Even though they want to pose as, liberals or progressives. Elon Musk, man. Elon Musk is talking like a GOP senator. I don't think that the stimulus for the people is a very good idea. I don't know how this helps this country. That's what Elon Musk has been tweeting lately. We can coup whoever we want. Talking about the Bolivian coup, which helped him enrich himself, help him gain access to their lithium mines. We'll coup whoever we want. Elon Musk sounds like a neocon. At the end of the day, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all these guys are just neocons. They don't care about you. They don't care about the people. They do not care. And they would love to see Trump back in office. I'm telling you right now, they would love it. Elon Musk turns out to be a sociopath as well. Who knew, right? He's sounding like John Bolton. He's sounding like any other, war hawk, GOP conservative senator. He's sounding just like Donald Trump. He sounds like Donald Trump. Actually, he's worse than Donald Trump because Donald Trump is actually like, well, I'm going to sign an executive order and give people some kind of stimulus here. Elon Musk was like, nah, we don't need it. I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised if Trump wins again in November. I'm telling you right now, emotionally get yourself in a good place. Don't get your hopes up that Biden is going to take this. Do not get your hopes up that this is going to change. Don't blame people. Don't find people to blame. This is by design. And this is going to take a lot of coordination from you and I, from the people, in order to turn around. And what I was going to say is that, as I was reading this article, I'm not going to read it anymore. This is just a bill by Bernie Sanders. He wants to tax these billionaires at 60%. Yes, yes, of course. They should be and must be taxed at 60%. This is not going to happen, though. This is not going to pass. It's not going to get passed. They're not going to agree to it. It's not going to happen. It's a good idea, though. It's a great idea. Lightning Rod taking one single statement. It's not, nobody took one statement from him. He's actually had several statements over the last couple weeks. I don't know if you've been paying attention or not. Maybe you're not paying attention. He's a fucking fascist, dude. He's a neo-fascist. I don't know what if you're trying to argue for Elon Musk being a good guy, I don't know where your brain is at, Lightning Rod. I'm not really sure about what position you're taking. But anyways, listen, the fact is that people are going to have to organize outside of this, and they're going to have to shut things down in order for this to change. It's not going to change. It's probably not going to change electorally, and the way that it's changing electorally is way too slow. Way too slow. Some progressives are getting into office, but the economic might of the wealthy seems to hold more sway over statewide and larger elections, right? So it's very difficult for progressives to win governorships, senator positions, just bigger elections, but they can win on a smaller like congressional level. They seem to be having more success there, but again, it's very, very slow. It's very slow. We really need to have, more senators, being progressive. There's only a few that really identify as progressive. And a progressive president would actually turn the tide in a much bigger way. Technofascist. That's right. Hapsataki. Correct term is technofascist. But the thing is this, here's the thing I was trying to say, or that I wanted to say. Look, power concedes nothing without a demand. If you're part of an oppressed class, and if you're just a regular American, if you're not like wealthy on any level, or part of the upper middle class, or if you're not like doing okay, if you're a part of the general populace of America, you are like oppressed on many levels, on mostly economic levels, and it's getting worse every day. It is not incumbent, or it's not actually logical that the people in power, or the people that are doing the oppressing, are going to have some self-awareness and change their ways all on their own. In fact, that never happens. That never happens. So it's like, I know that people want to hold government accountable, and they want like bigger institutions or bigger organizations to be the ones that are accountable for, for their economic fascism, or the, whatever you want to call it, or just straight up fascism, or hold themselves accountable for racism, or for whatever it might be, or for climate change, whatever the issue might be. Yeah, you want them to be self-aware and hold themselves accountable. Guess what? That's never going to happen. They're never going to do that on their own. And I feel like this is kind of a thing that is taking on some momentum on social media and in social justice communities, where they feel like, even in climate change, right? In climate change, individual action won't work. Individual action, why are you making it all our fault? We have to hold these, fossil fuel companies accountable. We have to hold the governments accountable. Okay, guess what? Who's going to do that? Individual people. You can hold them accountable, but the only people that are going to do that are people who are being affected by climate change, or people who care about climate change. They're not going to do it to themselves. Okay, the government's not going to hold fossil fuel companies accountable. The government's not going to hold the banksters accountable. They're not going to do that. The people, it really sucks. It really sucks, but this is just a fact. This is not up for opinion or debate. People who are oppressed are the only people who can change the state of their oppression. The only people. It's the only time when the state of somebody's oppression changes is when people go, no. When you adequately pressure the ruling class, or the people who are in power, to change their ways. It doesn't ever happen any other way. So, if you want this to turn around on any level, it's going to take organization by the people on the ground. It's going to take grassroots organizations. It's going to take, more people not working with the government, not like, hey, let's make a deal. Like, it's going to take people straight up shutting down the system, getting in the way of the system, whatever you want to do, not, nonviolent protests, whatever way you want to take. You're going to have to get in the way of business as usual. That is the only way it's going to change. The only way. It's not going to change from the inside. It is not going to change from some enlightened, leader. Even Franklin Roosevelt who was a man, that rose to the era, or rose to the demands of the time, rose to the occasion. There were massive, violent strikes going on during that time. Massive. The country was shut down not only economically, but people were striking everywhere. And there were melees, there were, violent altercations. People were getting shot, people were getting beaten, it was a violent, on some levels, revolution. It was violent, and nonviolent, both working together. Violent and nonviolent disruption of the system that caused caused the ruling class to go, uh-oh. So that's all I have to say. I know I talked a really long time about that, and probably not very, not very succinctly, but anyways, again, and even with climate change, I'm telling you, individual action, whether you're changing your habits or changing the way you live individually in order to fight climate change, or individual action as far as individuals organizing in order to force the government or force the corporations that control the government to change their ways or to shut down or whatever it is. It's going to be the only thing that ever changes anything, okay, is individual action or individuals working together to pressure change, whether it's within your community, whether it's within your society, whether, you know what I mean? So, people that want to downplay individual action or we can't change anything, or guess what? You're the only ones who are going to be able to. So you better start getting to changing something. Okay. Stop giving up your power. Stop giving up your agency. Stop not taking responsibility, because it's your responsibility whether you like it or not. The boot on your neck is going to get harder and harder. Is going to press harder and harder down on your neck until you say stop. If you don't say stop, that boot's going to pressure you even more. So, I can't do anything about this. It's somebody else's fault. Guess what? It's going to be somebody else's fault until that boot breaks your neck. So fucking figure it out. Figure it the fuck out. Anyways, I just, get it together. Take responsibility. It's your responsibility. If you're a social justice warrior or a social justice fighter, if you're a fighter for justice and equality and rights for all people everywhere, your responsibility. You are the person. You are the change. You get to going, get to organizing, get to doing it. Oh, somebody else is doing this to me. It's not my problem. Yes, it is your problem, because if you don't stop, if you don't stop it, if you don't do something to stop it, it's just going to keep continuing. That's it. End of story. End of rant. Scott Andrews, change something by not buying stuff. Stop feeding the beast. Anyways, yeah, I just, yeah. It just really upsets me when I see people saying stuff like that on social media. Like, it's not my job to educate you. It's not my job to, I mean, I know it's hard to educate people that don't want to be educated. I understand that totally. But if you are the activist, if you are the organizer, if you are the teacher, if you are the leader, it's your job. It is your job. Whether people want to listen to you or not, it's your job. It's your job. Because if somebody's got a boot on your neck and you're like, hey, it's your responsibility to educate yourself about why the boot on my neck is wrong. Guess what? You just lost. You just lost. Anyways. And again, power concedes nothing without a demand. And that demand always, always, always falls on the people on which that power is inflicted. Always. Yeah. So the super rich are fueling. This is an old article. I might have even read this article um, last year, maybe not. But anyway, super rich fueling growing demand for private jets, report finds. Again, the wealthy don't even understand. They don't even understand the connection of what they're doing to the climate. They they don't comprehend, and that's you know I don't want to just totally bash renewable energy or green growth. I don't want to. I don't want to bash it like just out of hand. I think it's the wrong thing to fixate on if you're talking about saving the planet or if you're talking about doing something for climate change. Because there are very wealthy interests that want to keep all of this going and want you to believe that you're doing something by buying a Tesla or by, buying some solar panels. Yeah, great. Solar panels, awesome. But while everyone is feeling really great about owning a Tesla or buying some solar panels or greening up their home energy use, meanwhile, the super rich are buying more jets and there's more air travel and people are flying on vacations to the Galapagos or wherever or to the Bahamas. Just flying, and flying, right? You fly all over the place, but you greened up your home energy system, so that's you can feel better, right? The thing is that the green renewable energy movement should not actually be the focus of fighting climate change or saving the planet. That should be like way down on the list. Way down on the list. What should be high on the list, number one on the list, should be stopping doing all these things, halting the destruction to the planet by doing the things that destroy the planet, right? Burning coal, flying in jets, driving cars, having all of this fossil fuel burning be the centerpiece of everything that we do, right? You got to stop those things immediately. Anyway, super rich fueling growing demand for private jets. Report finds growth centered in U.S. and China, with slowdown in Sweden attributed to Greta Thunberg. Slowdown in Sweden attributed to Greta Thunberg. Almost 8,000 new private jets are expected to be bought by multinational companies and the super rich over the next decade, each of which will burn 40 times as much carbon per passenger as regular commercial flights. According to a report by Aviation from Honeywell Aerospace, about 690 new business jets are expected to take to the skies in 2019, a 9% increase on 2018. As businesses and the wealthy refresh their fleets. We forgot to refresh the private jet fleets with new models released by three of the world's biggest private jet manufacturers. Despite their huge carbon footprint, demand for the new private jets is expected to continue to grow next year. Of course they are. According to the report, over the next decade, the number of new private jets taking to the skies is expected to total 7,600, costing buyers a combined $248 billion. 1/5 of the new jets is expected to be ordered by super emitter celebrities and other members of the richest 1% of the population who use the planes to fly between their homes and the world's most desirable locations. Again, it's all really great when celebrities are like, climate change, we really have to do something. Are you giving up your 4 or 5 mansions that you own? Are you giving up your private jet? Are you giving up, your private island ecotourism getaway that you operate, Leonardo DiCaprio? Are you giving up all of that stuff? Are you giving up all of your entitlements in order to fight climate change? That would be the first thing to do. before getting on a podium going like, yeah, this is climate change. It's really bad. The jets are also bought by big companies to ferry executives across the world. There are currently more than 4,600 private jets operating. It is the introduction of many new aircraft models at the same time, with new, clean, streamlined designs that is driving demand for new private jets. Gaitan Hanfield, senior manager of marketing analysis at Honeywell Aerospace and author of the report, said, people like to have the newest and the best jets. Hanfield said a new range of jets produced by Bombardier, Gulfstream, and Cessna are proving popular with buyers as they have extended range that can allow executives to fly as far as New York to Beijing nonstop. Larger cabins also allow more luxurious conditions. Of course they do. Oh my God. Okay, anyways, they have really big cabins with 4 to 5 zones, so you can have a bedroom, a place for the crew to rest, a place to work, a dining area, and a place for entertainment. I thought they just needed a place in the back where the billionaires can hang upside down from a pole while they're getting their blood transfusions. While they're having their blood transfused with adrenochrome-rich blood. Canada's Bombardier recently introduced the Global 7500, the world's largest and longest-range business jet. Sorry about that. Anyways, whatever. This sounds like they're really, talking up these jets rather than talking about how bad they are for the climate. I don't really care. Bill Gates, the Microsoft founder and world's second richest man, took 59 flights in 2017, traveling more than 200,000 miles, according to the study by academics at Lund University. The report estimated that Gates' private jet travel, which he has described as his guilty pleasure, emitted about 1,600 tons of carbon dioxide. That compares to a global average of less than 5 tons per person. Holy shnikes. What an absolute glutton this person is. That compares to the global... Okay, anyways, like the Honeywell report, the study suggests that private jet travel emits up to 40 times as much carbon dioxide per passenger as scheduled commercial flights. However, other experts suggest this figure is near 10 times. Well, yeah. Come on, let's not get out of control. It's probably only like 10 times. Why do they even put this in here? However, other experts, other experts. Some random other people. I don't know about that. Anyways. What does this all mean? It means that the rich are not going to give up their goodies anytime soon. They're not going to give up their billions anytime soon. Something else will have to be done, and they must be stopped. Or maybe they can just be drained of the billions. Maybe people can unite and organize around not supporting these companies, not supporting these businesses. Taking the legs out. Jim Brandt, thank you for the super chat. Kiro Hikes, thank you for the super chat. You have to be willing to go to jail to fight, to sacrifice. I might end up in Guantanamo Bay. 99% won't join the real fight. The price is too high. I agree with you, Kuro. Brian Melt, people need to realize they are us, indeed. Keith Hayes, if you are a citizen, you must teach, indeed. Gene, we need about 8% of the population to be activists, and we can turn this around. Indeed. No time like the present. Let's get going. Right? Let's get this party started. Valhalla 5-6. Thus, we need a eco dictatorship. How else are you going to stop them? I don't know. That's a really good question. It's a good question. There's a lot of evidence that we're not going to be able to do this democratically. Especially, we're not going to be able to do this fast enough on because there's too much. The powers that be control the media and control the information flow. So it's very, very difficult to educate people on a mass level and be able to do that quickly enough to turn things around. So I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know how you would actually do it. Hey guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and you can support the channel. The links below, PayPal, Patreon, Square. Also, if you'd like to watch the live streams, you can watch the live streams on my Patreon channel. You can subscribe for as little as $1. So hopefully I will see you over there, and thanks so much.